Welcome back to The Price of Business. This is William Edmundson filling in today for Kevin Price. And we've got a favorite of ours on the show today. We'd like to welcome Charles Alvarez, president of Focal Point International and Cornerstone Business Coaching. Charles, welcome to the show.
Always good being here, William. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Pleasure to have you. Well, I understand you've got a guest on today, so why don't you tell us about your guest and your company, and let's get started.
We do. We have actually one of the best and most successful retained search firms on the line with us today. Bob Rule is the CEO and owner of BR Search. He can be found at brsearch.net. Looking forward to interviewing him today. Bob, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Charles. Nice to chat with you.
So tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, the term executive search means a lot of things to a lot of people. Basically, we identify and recruit senior executive talent for the oil and gas industry. We are, as you said, a retained firm as opposed to a contingent placement firm. We're fond of saying that we're not in the business of necessarily helping people find jobs, but rather helping clients find a specific individual. So very focused in our efforts, very limited in the number of assignments that we take.
Okay. So out of curiosity, what are some of the biggest challenges that you see your clients facing today, and how are you specifically helping address those challenges?
Well, the oil and gas industry, of course, is going through tremendous turmoil. Some of it is external, driven by governmental entities, both internationally as well as within our own country. The result has been there's been forced mass layoffs throughout the industry. The oil and gas industry has always been cyclical, but when actions occur, when downturns occur, they are generally pretty traumatic, and that's the case right now. And so, while yes, it affects balance sheets and all that kind of stuff, it also affects psyche, just the mental attitude of people. And many companies are using this opportunity to downsize, right size. Almost all larger companies specifically have excess talent many times that they can upgrade. But it's awfully hard for a client to lay people off and then hire at the same time. Mentally, psychologically, that just doesn't resonate. And so, the really smart companies will look at this as an opportunity to reduce the staff by 3 or 4 and perhaps hire one. One or two key people can really turn a ship.
Hey, question, Bob. This is William. Are you seeing companies taking advantage of just this flood of talent on the market at various levels? Are you seeing companies really trying to upgrade where they have an opportunity, maybe get that player that they've heard about at their competitors and bring them in?
The smart ones do, William. That is correct. It is not widespread because, as I said, the psychology of corporate America is such that it's just almost antithetical to lay people off and hire at the same time.
Absolutely.
But on a strategic basis for a 1 or 2, type of a singular opportunity, yes, we do see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things we found intriguing, Bob, when we spoke to you is that we kind of get that sense that, the more defined, the harder the search is, kind of the better. Can you kind of give us an example of how you've added value to a client here in the recent past?
Well, the greatest challenge in our business is delivering a candidate that meets criteria that many times is unsaid. Almost any search, there's certain boxes that need to be checked. The candidate must have this and must have that. And quite honestly, that's not really the art form of executive search. That's just checking off boxes. A lot of people can paint a picture, but there's only a couple Picassos that have that value. And the value that I think we bring is really inherent in the our personal networks, myself and my two partners, that we can quickly identify senior level talent. One such case we recently consummated was for the state of Alaska. Alaska is trying to build. The state is wanting to build a pipeline to get gas from the North Slope so that Alaskans can utilize that gas. And they also have a separate project that is an LNG pipeline and facility so that they can market gas to Asia, China, etc. So they needed a CEO. And of course, like any search, they said this person needs to have this, and this. But the nuance of the search and the art form of the search was to find the soft skills, not the hard skills. The soft skills that would work well in a political environment, in a highly charged political environment. The soft skills that could rally the staff. Because there's a lot of public scrutiny. And so listening for the things that are unsaid and navigating the client to the right solution is the art form of what we do, over and above just the checking of the boxes of delivering various qualifications.
Yeah, it's a tough world out there, and the way that things are screened, the way that there's so many people out on the market, and the internet even has changed how people apply for jobs and how people are screened out. So it's important for companies to hire somebody with the knowledge that you have.
Well, a lot of people thought that the internet would destroy the executive search business, and that's just not true. A lot of what I would call routine staff level jobs are filled through the internet, but the more senior the job becomes, the more the soft skills enter into the equation, and that's what we do. We don't present any candidate to any client that we haven't personally met, and whether that person is in an international location or right here in Houston, Texas. So we spend a lot of time in the behavioral interview sector, or portions, and not as much in the technical and skills level. Just about anybody can deliver the skills that the client wants, but it's those soft skills that we look for that make our search an art form.
Sure. Charles?
So, Bob, if somebody wanted to engage you, or if they wanted to find out more information, or if they wanted to contact you about a certain, executive search, what would be the process? What can they expect if they reached out to you and or your firm?
Well, the first thing that we would do would be to go to their location. I learn an awful lot just by walking around the offices or the facility, the plant, whatever it may be. And so the first thing would be a site meeting. And I would want to interview the executives of the team, the hiring authority, the human resource professionals, to get their insight as to what they think they're looking for, and help navigate them and help redefine for them what might be best and how their problem may be solved. And then I would return home and craft a position specification that talked about the company, talked about the scope of the job, sort of why is this job occurring, the basic qualifications, and in many times we even list the compensation. It's a 1 or 2 page document that we utilize in communicating the need to a vast network, and we'll get that document into the hands of 70 or 80 people in a conduct of a normal search, so that we can interview 7 or 8 people, and so that we can then present 1 or 2. Or 2 or 3. So that's the general process, and anybody that has a need and wants to contact us, our website is is brsearch.net. So that's an easy way to contact us.
brsearch.net. Well, we're winding down here. Charles, why don't you tell us how people can reach you and your company as well?
Best way to reach us is actually just go to our website, which is cornerstonebusinesscoaching.com. That's cornerstonebusinesscoaching.com, and there's a vast amount of resources up there that you can download and take a look at on subjects like how to generate leads on demand for your professional services business, and how to reduce the sales process in half for your professional services firm by looking at the sales page. It gives you the 7-step sales process, and also how to reduce your sales cycle.
Yeah, and reducing your sales cycle is so important these days. It's so competitive out there, and more people have tools that really advance their business than really have ever been out there. Would you agree with that, Charles?
I would agree, and I would also agree with something that Bob actually said. He said that he, specializes more in the soft skills, and actually there was a study done by Dale Carnegie in 1918 that stood the test of time for the past, almost 100 years, which basically states on multiple research they have done that 85% of the success or failure of a manager or a leader or of an executive are those soft skills, their attitude, the way they communicate, and the way they lead. So, Bob, you and I definitely agree upon that.
It's critical.
Yeah, and there's no question that makes a difference. Having been on both sides of the process, it's really important because Bob, as you mentioned, a lot of people have the skills. If you went down the list of bullet points, but what you've got to ensure for your company is that you've got all of those, what you're calling soft skills, and that they're going to be a good fit within the organization.
And it has to. A person can have good soft skills, but not fit the culture of the company. So it's also a culture match.
Yeah, that's a very important point. That's why people should hire a professional.
Well, I hope so.
Well, good. Well, we're winding down here, gentlemen. Again, you can reach Bob at brsearch.net and Charles Alvarez at Cornerstone Business Coaching. Charles, give us your website once more.
cornerstonebusinesscoaching.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, gentlemen. It's a tough world out there, but we're glad there are guys like you that help make it just a little bit easier for us.
William, thank you. Charles, thanks for dialing in.
You're welcome.
Same here, pleasure.
We'll be back in a few with more of The Price of Business.